Hi everyone, welcome. We're down here in my wormery and I've got a couple bins that are due for a feeding. I think it's been maybe 11 or 12 days since these two systems were fed, and they were fed on separate days. Maybe one of them was fed 12 days ago, the other one was fed 11 days ago. They're both red wiggler bins, and they're kind of like both running individually, and I saw no reason for us to do what we've done with a lot of other systems, which is to buddy them up, make them a match set that we maintain together going forward. So that's how we're going to proceed with those two systems. The 120-day-old red wiggler bin being now paired up with the 60-day red wiggler bin, and we're going to get them fed. So let's get to work. What's on the menu is cauliflower. I've also got coffee, worm chow, grit, typical things you use when you're feeding. Now here, you can see in the younger bin, number one is this thing, which I don't know where it came from, but from one day to the next it just sort of appeared. Doesn't look right. I'm not sure what it is. Not sure if it like just fell off something above it from the ceiling or something, but it didn't look like something I added. So I've resisted the urge to check that out over the past few days, thinking that, hey, we're going to come in here together anyway with the camera, so we'll just wait until then. So these feeding zone indicators are holding up pretty good if you ask me, especially for the one under the plastic. If there's one underneath the paper, it's probably a lot drier and even less likely to have worm traffic all over it. So they could certainly keep going one more go around if we needed them to, but since part of the feeding is a couple days worth of coffee, not to mention the fact that I've got additional coffee filters even without any coffee in them piling up. So yeah, I think for that reason we're probably going to just end up composting those and replacing them with new ones. Oh, okay. I skimmed through both videos of each feeding of each system, and I believe the one that had the corn sitting out like this on top was the one that we put a bunch of individual little pockets of different things next to each other for the worms. And I don't remember what they were exactly, but I think there were like 4 or 5 separate individual little portions of stuff. And I can't remember which system it was, whether it was this one or the other one, but one of them also included really stinky peas that were sort of decomposing. Here were just some corn cobs, one of which was really far gone. So I think it is sort of coming back to me. I think I'm getting it right too. This was the one that had a number of coffee filters, the cone-shaped coffee filters placed in here empty alongside each other and then filled with a variety of things. And one of the cups was the corn cob cup, and we all know that the corn cob is going to take a while for the worms to break down. And they're certainly working it, that's for certain. You know, not a slow food because they're not bothering with it. They're not ignoring this stuff at all. They're all over this stuff, as a matter of fact, as we just saw. So it will take them quite some time. The only weird thing about this batch of corn cob was that one of the cobs, not this newly added one, it still has kernels on it. These two, plus a third one, which for some reason just went ballistic and got consumed almost immediately. And we were still seeing some signs of it during the last check-in, but just based on the pace at which it was getting consumed, it seemed almost sure that we'd see no leftover it on this go around. So I'm not even going to go looking for it. I'm going to assume they did away with it quite some time ago. So man, we certainly went nuts checking out that feeding zone. What was done in here, I'm wondering if it's going to come back to me. I think that stack of corn cobs was just sort of the real easy giveaway on what was done previously in that system. What was done in here will possibly recollect from the last time, maybe not. Alright, stuff looks really nice in here. I think it is kind of interesting to see side by side two red wiggler bins. Again, I'm just sort of roughly remembering some of the stuff I checked out in preparation for this video. I believe that the estimated worm counts in these systems are pretty close to each other. The difference is only maybe 150 in the neighborhood of 3,000 estimated worms living in this system, in each of these systems. Which one was the more highly populated one? I don't remember. But I think you could certainly see the age just from looking at the quality of the castings and the fineness of the material. Very nice. Alright, so let's follow suit with what we did last time, because I do have a little bit of a surplus of coffee filters here, so we'll not put all 4 into one system. We'll just put 2 into each system. We don't have a variety like we had last time. Last time one of the cups held banana peel, another cup held all the corn cobs. A little surprised we didn't see the banana peels, but there was the peas. I thought there was some other additional ingredient. But let's see, how do we split this up? It seems like there's about 4 handfuls of material in this little transport container. So if we do it that way, we've got a pretty fair split on today's portion, but we're not done yet because we've still got replacement coffee filters for our feeding zone indicators. We'll get the coffee in there, and then we'll eventually even get the coffee filters on there too. But you know, this piece of paper was in there suggesting that it too needs to be composted. So let's include it. Wow, what else? I've still got so many of these coffee filters. Whatever, I'll save them for future feeding. I think we're done here for now. These little guys should appreciate this nice little snack we're giving them. If we wait another 10 or 12 days, like the spacing between the feedings was this time, with this type of a feeding, it'll almost certainly leave no leftovers. That would be my estimation. I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of this stuff first, which is my grit, which is just pulverized eggshell, and then this worm chow is just pulverized birdseed for the most part, and whatever other stuff I've got laying around. As far as leftovers go, the only leftovers I can see here that are clearly leftovers are these corn cobs. They do look like they're pretty busy, burrowed down inside this corn cob, but we typically don't disturb the progress. We'll just let it continue at its own pace. But yeah, that last corn cob, that 4th one that's really not visible anymore, that one was really interesting to see how quickly the worms consumed it. And it was really interesting to see the shape of the material too as it was getting broken down by the worms. Let's get these feeding areas covered back up. Oh, let's not forget to submerge the corn cob. I guess this system got corn cob too at some point. But yeah, going forward, since these are sort of buddy bins, sister bins, not sister bins, I would say more buddy bins. Yeah, they'll get managed the same way going forward. At each check-in, get the same amount of food, get the same treatment as far as you know, checking out how things are, same sort of inspection. Yeah, this younger system, such a difference in the fineness of the material. You know, I guess that's one of the benefits of having a couple of buddy bins that have a pretty good difference in their ages. You can really see the difference when you're looking through the systems, as opposed to having 2 systems that are, you know, almost identical. There you don't hardly see, and you don't even expect to see many differences. But yeah, the material in this system is just so nice. So fine, all crumbly, nice and damp and cool, full of worms as a result of it being that way. Although I don't have my spreadsheet in front of me, and I don't know for certain which system has the higher estimated worm count. I am kind of getting this feeling like the older system seems to have a fairly large number of worms in it. Maybe there's just been a little bit more time, or there's 2 extra months of age for the worms to have possibly increased their numbers already. So I'd like to think that it'll happen over here too. All right. We can cover up and call it a day. Alrighty. Yeah, look at the different. Oh man. I guess there's still that decision point here. Do we continue as we've been going with the existing? Oops. There we go. If I don't put it right in front of my face, I'll forget to use it. Whatever. That's okay. What do? We double up. We'll use 2 feeding zone indicators in this system. And for that reason, we'll be able to just reach over here and grab this one too. And have double feeding zone indicators. So back to the decision point, do we return the coverings as we started, or do we kind of force the harmonization? I'm thinking stick with what we had. There's no reason to force anything. In fact, it is almost a little bit more interesting, I believe, just to let them both continue as is, as we gradually harmonize the feedings that they're getting and the pace at which they're being fed and all that other stuff. And then we'll probably eventually end up with covers that are similar or the same. But for now, I think we'll just stick with what we had. All right, everyone, that's it for our check-in with our 120 day and 60-day old systems now buddied up and will be managed together. All right, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, as always, please don't forget to leave me a quick thumbs up before you go. That's always really appreciated. And if you haven't done so already, please also consider subscribing to the channel. That's very much appreciated as well. All right, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.